Arg. Welcome to National Pirate Speaking Day. Ready to walk the plank into the sea of math. Here we go, matey. Watch out for those sharks swimming in the water. Sharks swimming in the water. Okay, so we're going to have a little review here. And we took notes on this screen before. And we're going to see that we have the A indicates that all trig functions are positive. Sine means sine and cosecant functions are positive in the second quadrant. In the third quadrant, I remember tangents and cotangents are positive. And in the fourth quadrant, the cosine and secant are positive. If I didn't say they were positive, that means that the rest of them are negative in those quadrants. A lot of mistakes are made between the positive and negative, and we're going to try to remember how to remember if the trig function is positive or negative. So keep this in mind, matey. We have ASTC, which is all students take calculus or civics or take cucumbers, however you want to remember it. What's a good pirate word for C?
Captain.
Captain. Good day, Captain. Ready to walk the plank into the sea of math? Okay. All right, so let's go on, and we're going to remember the definitions are down below. So we're going to go forward and take a look at a little question here. Which quadrants are the trig functions, positive or negative? We did this yesterday, but we're going to reiterate which ones are positive and negative in the quadrant. For example, if I know that the sine of theta is less than 0, and I also know that the tangent of theta is greater than 0, what quadrant does that angle have to be in? To figure this out, I'm going to mark the ones that I know the sign is negative. Well, let's see. All students take captains there, maybe. And we're going to have sign is negative, which means it could be in this quadrant, or it could be in this quadrant, because I remember tangent positive, cosine positive. But then I go to the second condition, and it says tangent theta is greater than 0, which means it has to be right here. So I know that the third quadrant is where it satisfies both of those conditions. Let's do another one. Secant theta is positive, and the tangent theta is negative. If I think about this, secant theta means the same thing as the cosine theta is positive, because secants and cosines are reciprocals. So now I know the cosine theta is positive, which means it could be here and it could be here. Tangent is negative, which means that's going to be here or here, and therefore you know it's going to be in the fourth quadrant that satisfies both of those conditions. Know how to work with the positive and negative trig functions, but later go into determining what quadrant you're working with. Let's take a look at an example here. And this says if sine x is equal to -5/13 and x terminates in quadrant 3, find cosine x and tangent x. First thing we're going to do is remember not to walk the plank. So I'm going to remember to draw it so I don't have to walk the plank. And that means I can't say walk the plank enough in here on Pirates Day. Should I stop?
No, Mickey.
Thank you. So we're going to have drawing this in the third quadrant. 1, 2, 3 means that I want to draw that theta into that third quadrant, and I'm also going to make a right triangle. And very important, I'm going to put the numbers into the diagram. Sine x is equal to y over r. Y is -5. R is 13. That should look familiar. 5 and 13s mean 5, 12, 13 on the Pythagorean triple. So now I know that this is going to be my x, this is going to be my y, and this is going to be my r. R. So that means that we're going to have cosine x and tangent x. Cosine x is going to be x over r. And that means it's going to be a -12 over 13. We're just taking these numbers, x and r, off of my diagram and plunking them into that ratio. Tangent is y over x. Therefore, that is going to be -5 over -12, which is 5/12. Notice, I have a positive cosine, my tangent, I'm sorry, a negative cosine and a positive tangent. Does that make sense? The third quadrant is where I have a t, and the t means that the tangent is positive. Tangent here I show is positive, and therefore everything else is going to be negative, and that's what I have, so I can double check that. All right, that concludes this section, and I hope you enjoy Pyra's Day.